This is one of my first films that will be live and everything else. So I really, really am happy that I'm here. And I'm happy that I have a chance to do that. So shout out to everybody. Also, I want to bring another shout out. Speaking of superstars in my family, my son Jalen at Alabama City Hall was one of his drawings was posted in Alabama City Hall and on Monday night. Shout out to my son Jalen Maurice Gardner for doing that. Making both his parents proud, including his bonus dad, Mr. Hutton, and his mom and everything else. So I am so happy about that. Now, I know I went in on Kanye and here on Headlines and Headaches on voiceofradio.com as I'm coming in. I don't leave nobody the chance, pretty much. Let me just say this. People need to be held accountable for certain things that they do. And one of those people is Washington Commanders owner Daniel Snyder. Now, Daniel Snyder, bought the team, I think it was 1998 or 99. He's owned the team for over X amount of years. Now, just like the thing about it is like Daniel Snyder has some issues with the team. The team really hasn't been winning, since he owned the team. And a lot of NFL owners want him to relinquish ownership of the team. I'm surprised he made it this far because a lot of people didn't like him, but because they felt like he was young, he was brash when he bought the team and things of that nature. I'm going to say that to say this. Listen, and Daniel Snyder has, there's a lot of abuse and stuff going on in ownership, and NFL owners have been getting away with it. NBA owners like Donald Sterling, who was owner of the LA Clippers until they found out his racist rants that he was saying. The Phoenix Suns owner, which all the stuff he was being racist and sexist is coming out now. They want him to relinquish owner of the team. By the way, the NBA season has started. So I'm gonna say this. When you're in ownership of anything, you have to treat people with respect that work under you. All the days of being an owner, like ruling it like an iron fist, are pretty much over, because anything that you say can and will be used against you to relinquish ownership. And ownership in the National Football League is a right. It's not a privilege. It's a right. You have to have so much money to be a billionaire or to be a billionaire owner in the National Football League, which gives you more revenue from ticket sales and things of that nature, players hiring coaches, hiring general managers to hire coaches, things of that nature. I'm going to say this, though. There's 24 votes to remove an owner from the National Football League. 24. Out of the 32 owners, you need 24 votes. And the Colts owner, Jim Irsay, says that Daniel Snyder needs to be removed from ownership, and they'll get the necessary votes to do it. We talk about players being held accountable. Deshaun Watson, for example, who's going to be practicing November 18th, coming back, even though he got a speeding ticket. He was 97 and 70 miles per hour lane, I think, on the freeway. State Trooper pulled him over. I think that was back in June or July. But let me just explain this. We also hold like the Golden State Warriors owner who abused somebody in the finals when they lost to the Toronto Raptors. He was suspended for a year. Like the Miami Dolphins owner was suspended and fined. These owners need to be held accountable as well for the actions against anybody that they do. Just because you own the team doesn't mean a damn thing. You have to treat human beings like human beings. I don't care who you are. It doesn't really matter. Just like we're holding Kanye West accountable for his actions. We're also holding these owners accountable. Now, if Daniel Snyder gets removed from the National Football League, I'll be honest with you. Okay, it is what it is. But as much as I hate to say it, I think the problem is that we give people power we give people more power than they already have because they got money. And somebody always said, well, he got money. He can do whatever you want. No, you cannot do whatever the hell you want. You have certain privileges because you have money and power. You have certain rights, maybe over us regular folk, to get into rooms that we can't get into, but you have absolutely positively no right to treat people like garbage. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. You have absolutely no right to treat people like garbage. And if Daniel Snyder is doing that, just like the Suns owner, just like the former Clippers owner, Donald Sterling, he was banned for life with fine $1 million. That means you lose ownership of a team that you had. Well, if you own a team, you own a team in a certain bracket. You own a team just like you can lose franchises. People didn't know that. You can lose your business rights to the LLC. If you abusing power, you can go to jail, things of that nature. But you can also lose your right to own a team in a sports league. I don't care how long you owned it, 10, 20, 30, it's been in the family for generations after generations. You can lose your right to own a team. When you can lose respect from the other owners. Art Modell lost respect when he moved the original Browns to Baltimore. They became the Ravens. And then he ended up selling his share of the team to Steve Bisciotti. Okay. Here's the thing. You end up sometimes managing and owning a franchise is hard because you got to deal with stadium syntax, the city leaders and things of that nature. Just like a politician can lose their seat because they've been voted out, the NFL, NBA, and Major League Baseball owners can also lose their seat by being voted out if other owners feel like that they are damaging the brand and the business. Just like players can be benched or suspended, owners can also be suspended by the league, period, seeing fit. Does it happen all the time with the owners? No, but when it does happen, it's news. And I think that right now, Daniel Snyder has one foot on the banana peel at this particular point in time. I'm just going to say that. I'm going to say that to say this. You can't treat human beings like trash. You can't talk. And the thing about it is you can't speak ill of the dead like Kanye did of George Floyd. We all know he was killed by that officer. Let's just stop the games. You can't treat people like trash. You can't, just because you have some kind of position, you can't treat them like trash. And when you do that, those same people that you treated like trash, if you think they're not going to fight back because they don't have as much money or power or maybe some influence as you do, will come back and bite you in the behind. Now, I can say this. You can't treat people like trash. And the reason I bring up Daniel Snyder as an example, because just because you're an owner of a national football league or a team doesn't mean you can't treat people like trash. Hey, Jamil, what's going on? You cannot, and I repeat, you cannot treat people like trash. So if Daniel Snyder is out, hey, so sorry for you. I'm not shedding a tear for you. Because you treated people like trash, and you treated the fans like trash because you're putting a poor ass product on the field. Hey, Jimmy Haslam keeps this up. We might ask him to go. Maybe it's not the players or the general manager. Maybe it's the owner of the Browns. Hey, Jimmy, you try to get this, you knew what's going the consequences, but sometimes you like everybody calling about Stefanski and Joe Woods. Maybe it's time for Jimmy to fire himself. Shoot. Jimmy and D. Haslam. Sometimes you got to go to the top to get to where the root, maybe you got to go to the top to get to where the root is. And like I said, you can't treat people like Trash. I hate to say it like that, but it is what it is. You can't do it. You can't just, like I said, and I don't care how much money you got. If you commit a crime, you're going to jail. You look at Martha Stewart. All that money. She went to jail for insider trading. Like, oh, he got all that, but he got all that money. Let me break this down to you. And I was watching this on a Facebook reel. This is where my mind is, and I was working from home and for New Voices. Shout out to New Voices. We're gonna have an open cookout as well. By the way, get your Turkey Jam tickets. But digress. Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills, the guy we should have drafted before Baker, the Buffalo Bills quarterback. I'm gonna break this down to you for Josh Allen's salary. This is how everybody thinks you got all that money when you really don't. Josh Allen gets $43 million a year being the Buffalo Bills quarterback. Take away federal tax, which is $10 million. Other taxes, luxury taxes, which is close to over like another $10 million. Another $380,000 for something like that. Jock tax, things of that nature. Josh Allen's net salary is $23 million. Okay, he got $23 million. He got money. But that doesn't include the bills. Let's see. Yeah, he probably bought his house in Buffalo, so. But everybody got the bills. Car or car notes, cable, gas, lights, telephone, probably security, probably got helping out a couple of family members. Sometimes people that keep actually like turning the bills. So let me just explain. Shout out to Ramina Foster. Let me just explain to y'all. All that money goes to waste sometimes because we all know about the bills. Oh, credit card bills. Ooh, we forgot about that. Good credit card bills. Josh Allen probably got he's got a whole, but he got a credit card limit. Yeah, but he got to pay that. So break it down to 23 million math annually. That's like what? $8 million a month. Close to that. 8, 12, $6 million a month. Well, $4 million a month. Now look like what does Josh Allen got to keep for himself? Maybe after the monthly bills and everything are spent, probably $2 million a month. Out of all the taxes, because that comes off top. Uncle Sam don't play that. Remember what happened to Jermaine Dupri? What happened to Red Fox? Yeah, they took that, the late, great Red Fox. They took, like, tax evasion as mug. Wesley Snipes spent 3 years by trying to avoid paying his taxes. Now for the Blade stuff, but avoiding paying his taxes. They lock people away for not paying your taxes. By the way, Tyler Perry told a story. Producer Tyler Perry told a story that he had to fire his whole accounting team because he found out that after the audit, the IRS owed Tyler Perry $9 million. And his accounting team didn't. And sometimes when you have accountants, a team, if they screw up royally. Because if they're responsible for paying your bills and stuff like that, I'm too busy to pay my bills and stuff like that to sit out or have that stuff automatically debited, they can rob you too. That's why so many athletes go broke. Oh, and child support don't help either if you got more than multiple kids. And by multiple different women in multiple different states because they're looking at your gross income, not your net. So, well, he must have lost it all on gambling or something like that. You can do that. But the thing about it is like, no matter how rich you are, unless you wealthy, if you got $1 million yesterday by signing a deal, then we always talk about hip hop artists and athletes going broke. Some of these owners can go broke too. But it's important to treat people with respect for that major reason, because you never know who's going to have your back. Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, used to have Daniel Snyder's back. He turned his back on him. Like he got sprayed by a skunk. So like I said before, it's to treat people with respect. And to these politicians that don't treat people with respect, time's are ticking. Your election is coming. Your election is coming up. It might not be soon, but it might be. It'll be coming up soon. Some of you who are in office now, D-Day's November 8th to see how the voters vote for you. That means that, and how you treated African-American people. This is a warning. And it goes to every single politician, every single person that is trying to keep their seat or is running for it. What does your past say about you when you treat people with respect? If you don't treat them with respect, then that will come back to bite you no matter what position you're in. Just like the fans buy those tickets. The fans are the butts in the seats. The fans listen to this program. The fans and the people buy your music and your clothes, and you treat the fans and the people in a disrespectful way, you will find a rude awakening. Ask the baby, hip hop artist, the baby. He talked about the LGBTQIA community. Guess what? His record sales dropped. Just like any time, like the thing about it is sometimes, what's the song? And I'm going to sing it. What goes up must come down. You understand what I'm saying now. You understand. I hope y'all feel me, because if you treat people a certain way, guess what? Guess what? You not so tough. Your ass is grass, especially in the political world. Let me just explain this. You cannot treat people like crap and expect them to do right by you. You cannot falsely accuse people of stuff and falsely have false accusations and expect people to do right by you. You just can't. It doesn't work that way. All right, we're going to take a break. We got the Gap Band outstanding. When we come back, I'm going to wrap this up for everybody. Shout out to Jamil and Ramina. Thank you very much, Jamil, Norman, Ramina Foster. Yeah, it is true. Thank you very much. We'll be right back on the final of Headlines Headaches on voiceofradio.com. We'll be right back.